So, resolving conflict is an invaluable skill to learn. Like most skills, it takes practice to hone and perfect resolving conflict without escalating issues, especially if you have a personal stake in the outcome. Champlain College identifies 5 critical conflict resolution strategies in the workplace. They are 1. Don't ignore conflict. 2. Clarify what the issue is. 3. Bring all parties together to talk. 4. Identify a solution. And 5. Continue to monitor and follow up on the conflict. So, while these conflict resolutions provide a successful workflow to guide individuals, my personal favorites are best highlighted by Harvard University. Katie Schonk of Harvard Law School highlights 5 conflict resolution techniques, but I personally would like to highlight 2 of them, which are avoiding escalation and overcoming an us versus them mentality. Both are very easy traps to fall into, which Schonk highlights. She writes, because of the common human tendency to treat others the way that they are treated, people tend to respond to threats in kind, leading to an escalatory spiral and worsening conflict. Not only this, but the us versus them mentality is a very easy defense mechanism in conflict. What I try to do is guide the individuals into an us versus the problem issue, which puts both parties on the same side working together to solve the conflict. So, the best way to deal with difficult people is as Schonk highlights in the points above, which is treating individuals the way you want to be treated. Remaining empathetic and, most importantly, kind and civil in conflict is paramount. So, when dealing with difficult people, it can be a struggle, but the way I diffuse the situation is to isolate that specific individual. So, in my experience as an ops manager, when an individual is particularly aggressive in a group setting, my first move is to always bring them into a separate room and just talk it out. So, some important strategies that I pretty much always utilize is in this specific scenario, the first strategy is always to hear them out, right? Let them speak their mind. So typically I'll just let them get it all out while I actively listen and respond back to them, confirming and validating their feelings. So after they have expressed their feelings, I will typically ask if they are open to hearing it from my point of view, which helps find common ground. So usually this creates an air of civility in the room, but when an individual is not open to compromise, I usually follow a couple strategies depending on the level of severity. So first, I will ask if there's a separate individual they would like to speak to. Maybe I have too much personal stake in the matter, or they just do not feel comfortable speaking with me. Second, if the individual is exceedingly aggressive, I will just put the conversation on hold. Ask them if they like to take a break or even just go home for the day. And then lastly, if there's no compromise to be had, I'll ask if there's anything that I can do to soften the blow. Usually these techniques work and help in diffusing the situation.